Alright guys, so this is what we're getting into today. It's kind of like a barn find. There's our, but it's not a barn find, guys. If you'll remember back, I got this four-wheeler a while back, I think in the summer.
CW, come quick, I've got a score. Come quick, CW. All right.
There it is, CW. What do you think of that score? Just haven't had time to work on it. We're getting ready to drag it out and start working on it. It's a Bayou, 300 cc's, four-wheel drive, Kawasaki. I paid $50 for this machine. When I got this thing, it was apart in pieces, and it still is. There's the engine for it right there. There's the drive shafts and everything for it. Anyways, that's the rest of it. It's all supposed to be there. I believe it is. I kind of looked it over when I bought it. I think it needs top end work and who knows what else, but we'll get it all in the garage and get started on it. So this is how I purchased this mud mower. It was all apart. Here's the piston right here. Voltage regulator. Here's a miscellaneous part. This is a cam gear or a, I don't know, crank gear or something. We'll need that part. Here's the four-wheel drive, front to back shaft, I believe. Here's another concern, this little stuff. I've got to figure out where all this little stuff goes. This actually looks like a spring off of drum brakes. So, I don't know, maybe for the brake pedal or something. Don't know. More rings. Appears to be tape foam garbage. I know this goes to one of the wheels. A coil, ignition coil. And basically a pile of bolts to sort through. Okay, another bag of crap. Let's see what we got. It's like Christmas, except crap. Alright, so I'm going to sort through all these bolts, see which ones go to the engine, which ones don't. Sort through the engine parts, see what goes where, sort everything out. The story on this, guys, and I think you need to know the story behind this mud mower. I bought it for $50. I want to make a video. How much does it cost me to fix this mud mower? After this mud mower is fixed, how much can I sell it for? Do I make a profit? Do I lose money? That's what I'm wanting to do with this mud mower. And it is a 300cc Kawasaki Bayou. I may have mentioned it earlier. I don't know. Editing stuff, you get stuff mixed up. Anyways, let me go through the bolts, and then we'll take this head off together, guys, and look at it. The guy said that the spark plug was out, got water down in the head, and supposedly that's why it's, in this state. He was going to fix it, but I don't know if it ever had spark. I don't know if it had other problems. I don't know. So, let me go through some stuff, and I'll get back with you. We'll take this off. First thing you want to do when you get a basket case like this, guys, is go through all your parts and sort them out. Go through your bolts, match the ones that are the same length. Go through all your parts. Put the ones that you think bolt on exterior parts in one place, and then put the parts that you think go with the engine in another place. Get everything sorted out the best you can, and have everything lined out in front of you, so that if you're missing a piece or something, you can go back and look. It's just like a giant puzzle, Let's get this cylinder head off. So let's do this together. I haven't had it apart yet, guys. This will be fun. Hey, evaluate the junk you get, guys. Make sure that at least it looks like it's got all or, most of the parts with it. If it doesn't, don't waste your time and money trying to fix something that is not worth fixing. This one seemed to have all the parts to it, so I'm taking a chance. You're always taking a chance if you're not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with this. I don't work on these things all the time. Would you guys like to take a look inside there? I'll show it to you real quick. Let me move this. Need a little more counter space. I'll give you a look inside of that thing, and you can do an evaluation of what you think as we go through this project. Okay, and there's the inside of it. I think not too bad. I think it'll pass. And now I'll give you a view of the cylinder. head. All right. And as you can see, there you go. She's rusted up and junky looking. So, as you can see, that cylinder is pretty rusty. Here's the other issue. Old junky valves. Really corroded and crappy looking. So there's the valves. They're all corroded up really bad, but I think I'm going to take them out, try to clean all this up. There's the, oh yeah. And this is the exhaust side. And I can tell it's the exhaust side without even looking at the bottom. This is the exhaust side. The reason I can tell, guys, is because in case you don't know, here's the exhaust where the exhaust port comes out. So the valve's going to be closest to it. The intake will be on this side because it's closest to the carburetor side. That's simple. The intake's always going to be a bigger valve than the exhaust if you were looking from underneath here. Okay. And I can show you. The intake side's always bigger than the exhaust side. Exhaust side's smaller. And there's your camshaft. You guys can evaluate. Whoa! That would have been bad. You can evaluate that on your own if you'd like. Spin it. Look there. Quiet. You can evaluate it if you want, but that's a good camshaft, good bearing, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? We're in good shape. Now, to try and figure out why this rocker doesn't come out, I'm sure a lot of folks are laughing at me right now because I'm not. That'll work. I got it out of there. That's all that really matters right now, but there must be a combination for that little dealio. Anyways, that's the intake side. There's your camshaft. All right, so I want to explain this tool to you right here before we get started. What it is this takes the valve keepers off. And it's going to work on this one because it fits in there. It's got a magnet inside of there. So you'll take this tool, and what we have to do is put a rag underneath the valves to hold them from the bottom, hold them up in there. Take this tool, hit it with a hammer. The keepers will stick on the inside of this. That's all you have to do. It's cool. And then to put it back together, you put this tool like that. This is spring loaded. So you set the keepers on the valve. You push this down and you hammer it. And I'll show that part to you guys when we put it back together. So I'm doing this part on the floor because you don't want to knock all your parts around on the counter, you know, when you're smacking stuff with a hammer. Here's a rag that was stuffed in there. I'm going to put it underneath here. That'll be enough. Maybe more than we need to hold the valves. All you want to do is hold that valve up in it so you don't do any damage. And here's your tool. Here's my hammer. And guys, there's one keeper off. Take it out. Get the keeper out of there. Don't just keep hitting it because you'll damage everything. One keeper comes out at a time sometimes they both come off. I'm going to take it off real quick. There's the first keeper. Well, that thing sprung back and knocked the camera off the tripod and everything. So, but I wanted to show you guys this. I went to take it apart, and I thought, no, you guys need to see this. So here's the valve, and we're coming out with it. We'll get a good angle on that thing. And, you know, it's I think they call that stalactites or something like that. So she's nasty. Pretty bad. So before I clean these valves up and cylinder and all that kind of stuff, guys, I've been curious what it looks like inside of here. So I'm going to take that apart real quick and we're going to check that out. Alright, we've got a flywheel behind there because I can feel it's magnetized or spring loaded. Maybe we don't have a flywheel. I don't know what we have. Haven't been in one of these, inside one of these for years, guys. Let me get you close up. We'll do it together. So here we go. I feel and it is a flywheel. It's a, I don't know, stator. I don't know what you call this crap. Used to call it a flywheel in my day. There is a Hall effect sensor for something here. So what I was curious about is how much trouble it's going to be to get this chain back on here. And it has two chains. Let me show you guys what's going on from over here. So this machine has two chains. There's one there, which drives, okay, that just drives the starter. That's no big deal there. That's the starter drive. This is a starter right here. And the other chain behind it, that's our camshaft and crankshaft timing chain. So I'm going to have to investigate how to put all that back together. But I think for now I'm going to clean up the head and valves and all that. Ouch! You know, this could be dangerous. I don't know. I'm not the safety police. Use your own judgment. Ouch! Gonna have to cut this one off short, guys. There's gonna have to be a part 2, maybe even 3 to this one. I'm gonna order some parts. I'm gonna reuse that cylinder head, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will give me a lot of trouble about it. I just want to see how cheap can I build this four-wheeler? How cheap can I get it running again? I got 50 bucks in buying it. What is the very cheapest I can get by with to get it running? I mean, running good, you know, and driving. So that's what I'm interested in doing on this project. I've got to go to an MMA meeting right now. I don't believe there's going to be an ATLTF build-off this year. And I'm going to look into that at the meeting. So guys, let me gather some parts up. I'll explain to you why I bought the parts I did and why I didn't buy other parts. And get back with you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, guys. Stay tuned for the next parts of this build and other builds that I have going on. We'll see you next time.